Hi, this is Ms. Serratus, and in this video we're going to continue with activity 1.2. Make sure you completed the first part and watch the other videos. And at this point you should have written down your algorithm. Now it's time to learn how to put this into a flowchart. So we are in our PLTW online textbook in activity 1.2. Going to scroll down a little bit until you see the word flowchart. And here it indicates the different shapes that are commonly used when you are creating a flowchart. So all flowcharts begin with an oval. So the oval symbol or shape indicates that it is the beginning point. It also indicates that that's where you end. And then each of the different action steps are indicated in rectangles. So it's also known as the command. Now, if your flowchart were to have decisions in it, such as yes, no, or true and false, you would use a rhombus. But in our particular algorithm, we don't have any decisions to be made. It's just a linear algorithm, so we're not going to have any rhombuses for now. And your shape should be connected with an arrow. So let's look at the example that they have here. This is the example from the birthday party that was described in the first video that you saw. You notice it starts with an oval and the word begin is in it. And then each of these rectangles has the different action steps of the algorithm. And then it ends with an oval that's with the word end in it. And the different shapes are all connected with an arrow. Now it's time for you to build your flowchart based on the algorithm that you created. So to do that, I want you to go to the website draw.io. I have included a link in your Google Classroom. And once it opens up, first thing you're going to do is you are going to click on, I believe it's new. Finally loaded. So you want to click on create a new diagram. And you want to select the blank. I know the temptation is go ahead and select the flow chart, but we're just going to create a simple linear one. So you want to just go to blank diagram and do create. Now it asks you if you want to select which folder on your Google Drive that this should be saved. So normally I would do this because I like to have my Google Drive organized, and I recommend that you do it and put this in the same folder that you have this class. It would be basically under your classroom folder. But for now, I'm just going to do yes. If you do yes, it'll just save it anywhere on the drive, usually just right on the first page. So now it's loading and it takes you to this. Now mine automatically opened up in Drawio because I've used Drawio before. But the first time that you use it, it's going to ask you to allow and authorize. So you must go through the steps. It's going to ask you to authorize and allow several times. So go through it. And once you get to this page, top left corner, first thing you should do is name your work. So it's 1.2 flowchart, and I'm going to hit the rename button. Now we're ready to begin our flowchart. Just like it said in the book, the flowcharts start with an oval, so I click on the oval button. Now personally, I like to write the word start and not the word begin. The reason why I choose to write the word start is because when we are coding with the microbit make code, you notice that the first blue block is a start block. I'm sorry. So that's why I like to start with that. But you can also use the word begin. Now notice that there are these light arrows. So if I click on it, it automatically put the same shape and it automatically gave me the arrow. So I like the arrow. I'm just going to click on the shape and delete it. I'm also a little picky about this. I think the arrow is a little too big. So personally, I'm just going to bring it back a little bit. And I know my next shape needs to be a rectangle. So I click on it and I attach it. And I probably needed to move this over just a little bit to give myself room. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There we go. Perfect. So do yourself a favor and start your shape over just a little bit. And when I go back to my book, I know that my first action step is grab toothbrush. So in here, I'm just going to type grab toothbrush. There we go. And then very simply, I come here, I see the arrow, I click on it. Let's try it again. and I get my next shape. So I continue until I've done it. So pause for now, complete your flowchart, and come on back so I can show you how to turn this in. So here is my completed flowchart. You notice I started with an oval, put the word start. I have my 6 action steps, all in rectangles, and everything is connected with the arrows. And then I ended with an oval using the word end. So now what I need to do is go to my Google Classroom. Oh, I already did this before, but I'll do it again. Go to Google Classroom, and on the top right corner, or it might be on the bottom, depending how your screen is, you want to go ahead and click on the Add or Create button, and then go to Google Drive. And when you go to Google Drive, it should automatically show up, but for me, it's not showing up. But luckily, I remembered that I call it the 1.2 flowchart. So I could just search for it, and it's showing up right there. So I click on it and I hit the add button, and now you can just turn it in. So that is the way you should turn it in. Some kids make the mistake of copying this link, coming over here, and then adding the link. Don't do that, because I found that if you do it through the link, I'm not able to see your work. But if you add it through the Google Drive, then it automatically shares with me and I can see your work. So go ahead and complete your flowchart.